So Stephanie McMahon comes out and says that it will be winner take all at WrestleMania in the main event between Charlotte, the Queen, Becky Lynch, the Man, and the quote-unquote baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. For both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. Okay, how else could this have gone since you just gave the fucking SmackDown Women's Championship to Charlotte? So, again, they had nothing for Asuka, so they're just like, you're not going to have a championship match anyway. You're going to be in that fucking Women's Battle Royal anyway. We're going to have you lose the belt to Charlotte, so it'll have more meaning at WrestleMania. That's basically what that was. So, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out and says that WrestleMania, the Universal Championship, will be the biggest match of Rollins' career, and it will be, according to Seth, look, yes, Heyman does his usual shtick. He does the reigning, defending, and he says that he'll be back next week saying the same thing as far as Brock Lesnar still retaining and still being the Universal Champion. But the gist of this is biggest match of Brock Lesnar's career because, yeah, he has to win it and get past Rollins, and he's thinking of Rollins as an afterthought. Burn it down. Rollins actually comes out and he says, yeah, this is the biggest match of my career, but it's also the biggest match of yours because nobody wants him there. No one wants Brock Lesnar there. No one in the back wants him there. The fans don't want him there. Rollins doesn't want him there. Blah, blah, blah. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to beat Brock Lesnar, but it's improbable. But he says he will beat him. He will take the title, and there's not a damn thing that he can do about it. Brock Lesnar insists on leaving, so he does a little shoulder bump to Seth Rollins, and he persists to walk to the ropes and try to leave the ring. And then Seth Rollins attacks Brock Lesnar. And then a low blow. He kicked him in the ding-ding. Okay, that's fine. So we're going this route now. But even after the kick in the ding-ding, a German was still done to Seth Rollins. An F5 is tried, but Rollins gets out of it, and he hits him in the ding-ding this time. And then gives him a kick to the head when Brock was on his knee, and then stomp to the ground, holds up the Universal title, and throws it down and leaves the ring. 2 low blows, okay. In an interview in the back with Seth Rollins, Charlie was like, if you do that at WrestleMania, you'll be disqualified. And Rollins was like, yeah, but Brock Lesnar had it coming. And he's like, I'm not a champion yet. We'll see about that. So, an 8-woman tag team match. Boston Hug Connection with Natalya and Beth Phoenix versus the Iconics, Nia Jax and Tamina. Wow, guess how this went. So you didn't think that this was going to feed into Beth Phoenix? You didn't think that they're going to let her shine? You didn't think they're going to be like, okay, let's show the whole world that she still has it and that she's still a threat and that maybe, just maybe, she can win the Women's Tag Team Championship with Natalya. That's fine. And of course, Boston Hug had to get their belts after the match and we're the champs. I guess that's alright. Batista! He comes out, he basically wastes time in the ring, but he points to the Titantron, and it's all the footage of, Hunter, Triple H, he's done everything in his business except beat me. Except beat me. Except beat me. That's basically the whole gist of it, replaying their matches from WrestleMania 21, and the matches following that, one-on-one, and it's true, Triple H never beat Batista. And then Batista just has the mic. He says, Hunter, kiss my ass. And then just drops the mic and celebrates in the ring. And I'm like, okay, best Batista interview ever. Elias. Oh, goodness. He's getting ready for WrestleMania to play, blah, blah, blah. People play at MetLife Stadium, but when he plays at MetLife Stadium, no one's going to be talking about Kofi Kingston. No one's going to be talking about Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey or the women's main event. They're going to be talking about him, blah, blah, blah. Apollo Crews versus Jinder Mahal in a waste of time because let's remind everyone here that Jinder Mahal is a former WWE champion getting beat by Apollo Crews. But that was only to plug the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, which you had most of the participants surrounding the ring. And afterwards, of course, the trophy was out there and people were trying to celebrate with it. Apollo Crews trying to pose with it. You had the B team and Ascension, and next thing you know, things started breaking down, and oh my God, it's a Battle Royal plug-in, so everyone's getting thrown over the top, and then Apollo Crews is the one that stands tall, and I'm just like, waste of time. Kurt Angle, thank you, Kurt. They show a video package. Yes, this is his last time on Raw, supposedly, and they show highlights of his career, well, in WWE and in Olympics and his amateur background anyway. Nothing from TNA, though. They just stay away from that, and I doubt that they can get that footage. But then Baron Corbin comes out, ruins everything. That's not the same guy in the footage. No, that's not the guy in the ring right now. He's broken down. You can't keep up with guys that today, they're bigger and stronger and faster than you are, like me, and Kurt Angle's like, since we have a WrestleMania match, but why don't you come in here for an expedition match? Alright, just get up in the ring and fight. Is Corbin going to do that? No, he actually goes, gets in the ring, and then he leaves, and he's like, that's the Kurt Angle that had the intensity, but not the intelligence. If I get up in there, you won't make it to WrestleMania. So, Rey Mysterio actually runs out, and he's like, hey, if you're not going to throw down with Kurt, why don't you throw down with me tonight? I don't see why not. But then Corbin gives a cheap shot to Mysterio. Then Kurt Angle attacks, tries a German. Corbin tries to reverse a German. A senton from Rey Mysterio onto Baron Corbin. And then Corbin gets an Angle Slam. And that ends that segment. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Because now Rey Mysterio wants to teach him a lesson. He wants to teach a lesson to Baron Corbin later on in the night. Oh, goodness. You know, Charlotte does her usual interview about her being the queen, and because they're going to team up. The funniest thing about this Raw is that Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and the Man are going to team up in 6-woman tag team action against the Riot Squad. And Charlotte is like, after we win the match, Ronda and Becky better stay the hell away from me. The Revival against Alistair Black and Ricochet for the Raw Tag Team belts. And the Revival hang on to the Tag Team belts by countout. Alistair Black and Ricochet are not happy about that, so 2 black masses later, and then the 6:30, bam. So the Revival holds on to the Tag Team belts for WrestleMania season because I don't see them defending it at WrestleMania. A stupid Braun Strowman, EC3, Tyler Breeze jobber segment. 2 jobbers. It's just, goodness. So, 2 jobbers are going to be Michael Che and Colin Jost later on in the evening. If they don't show up, Strowman's going to find them and they're going to get the hands. And I'm just like, come on, man. Jobbers? Remember, Braun Strowman went from challenging for the Universal Championship to the Andre Memorial Battle Royal at this WrestleMania. Keep that in mind and see if that plays any sense to any of you, because this is like, I don't know, just garbage to me. So, you got Roman Reigns addressing rumors that he's not 100%, and he's like, let me end the rumors right now. I'm 100% and I'm ready. And then he gets attacked from behind by Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre's like, you should have said no, Roman. You should have said no. Man, alright. And they're trying to play the thing that Roman Reigns is getting his ass whooped and not all the way here and not all the way 100% and being weary and something like that leading up to the WrestleMania match. Because I guess that's the only way that they see that Drew McIntyre actually has a chance of beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch says that she has no choice to win and to make history at WrestleMania. Of course, since the McMahons don't want her there, so she has no choice to win and become a double champion. Makes sense. Ronda Rousey had an interview earlier in the night and said that she doesn't feel like talking. She wants to fight. That's fine. That lives up to her persona. So now we get to the stupidity of the night. Not the triple threat match itself, because that went the way that it was supposed to with the Riot Squad losing, and then now afterwards. Right after Ronda Rousey wins the match by a horrible armbar to Liv Morgan, Ronda actually goes and attacks Charlotte. You get security and police people separating them, and it's just like, alright. So Ronda accidentally knocks one of the cops over. So they put Ronda in handcuffs. While Ronda is in handcuffs, Becky Lynch takes a cheap shot at her, and Becky gets put in handcuffs. While Ronda Rousey is getting led from the ring in handcuffs still, Charlotte takes a cheap shot at Ronda Rousey. So Charlotte gets put in handcuffs. And then, I don't understand this. WWE, I can understand women making history, but this segment, following them leaving the ring and going to the back in handcuffs, defies common sense, logic, and even physics. Hear me out on how stupid this shit was. So, Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte are in handcuffs being led to cars, because apparently all three of them are going to be arrested. Now, oh my god, the main event at WrestleMania is arrested and they're going to jail. So, you put Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch in the same fucking car together, in the back seat. What sense does that make? Absolutely none. So, of course, they start kicking each other. A window gets busted, and they didn't even have seatbelts on. I'm just like, oh, Jesus, this is... So, of course, they have to put one of them in the other cars. Duh. They all should have been in separate cars in the first place. So, in order to keep this going, they actually opened the door to where Charlotte was to try to put Becky in there. And Charlotte escapes. I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. And then, the defying physics. Ronda Rousey ends up driving a car with handcuffs on. Wait a minute. So the car was already started, or she just gets in and hits the gas and fucking the car runs into a cop car. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? I'm sitting here and I'm just like, this is the stupidest shit I've seen in a while. Again, this segment defied common sense, logic, and physics. Oh, and Ronda Rousey's got her head outside of one of the car windows. Starts sounding like Dino Flintstone. And then gets a knee from Charlotte. And I'm just like, seriously? So all three of them finally get put in the cars, separate cars, and they get ran out of the building. And I sat on my couch, I was like, that was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in wrestling history. Wow. And I grew up in an era where the guitars exploded when they hit people, okay? Just to make the wrestlers safe. But this was just, it insulted my intelligence. I'm sorry. No, it didn't help the hype any bit from me. So, oh, goodness. So, Heavy Machinery faces Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. And, okay, the thing with Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, it's over. Alright? Just break them up already. Have one of them snap and have them feud against each other. Just have that shit happen. ASAP. It's over between them two. It's not glorious anymore. I mean, Lacey Evans walked out in the middle of the fucking match to cause a distraction, but again, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, it's done. Just fucking, oh goodness. And Braun Strowman destroys these two jobbers. I'm just like, what the fuck was the point of that? Oh, that's Michael Chi and that's Colin Jost. Now, Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush hit the ring and says that there's rumors about Finn Balor being the demon at WrestleMania. And I'm like, why the fuck would you spoil that? Why would you do that? All they had to do was wait until WrestleMania and for Finn Balor to come out as the fucking demon. And start it that way. But then they have him play on a Titantron and turning into the demon. And I'm just like, oh no. You had it. You had the element of fucking surprise. I can understand the demon is used very seldomly. But you didn't have to fucking announce it on Monday Night Raw, for Christ's sake. You could have had it at WrestleMania. And that would have been better. But no, WWE likes to fuck things up like that. So, speaking of fucking up, Corbin versus Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio injures his ankle during the fucking match. I'm just like, oh, goodness, man. This is... damn it. Ridiculous. Corbin wins the match, but afterwards, as he's going up the ramp, Kurt Angle attacks him and puts the ankle lock on him, and fucking Corbin is tapping and tapping, and I'm just like, ugh. And then they end the show like that. This is a going home Raw before WrestleMania? Oh, I don't know. This is... And I don't get it. Just... Man. Anyway. Do you think my assessment of this show is full of shit? If it's garbage or whatever, if you agree or disagree with me, please let me know in the comments below if you're on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Again, how does WWE defy common sense, logic, and physics in one fucking segment? Just... I mean, I'm sure that there's been other segments that's done that same shit. But this was just out of hand as far as insulting me in all forms. From the main event of WrestleMania. From the mom, the queen, the baddest woman on the planet. Seriously? Anyway. Drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfuckers over the top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan, but damn, this WrestleMania season is bleh. This is the theme. And the theme is go. Credits.